Hello everybody, we are back. My name is Jacob Roco.
Hi, my name is Donovan De Jesus.
Actually, wait, no, hold on.
I thought it was gonna be you.
Yeah. My name is Jacob Roco.
My name's Noah. Hi, my name's Noah Oching.
And now we have our special guest here today. Drum roll, please. What is your name, sir?
Donovan De Jesus.
Donovan De Jesus.
Yeah.
This man,
also first year.
This man is a first year. He's a great student, a great person, and a studious academic weapon as well.
This is true.
Yeah.
So this video is basically just going to be talking about our first year experiences, maybe some things we would change or how we thought about our first semester at college. We all go to, good thing you're wearing the shirt, we all go to Southern Methodist University here in Dallas, Texas. So let's get started, guys. Tell me if you're satisfied with your first semester. Do you think you did everything you wanted to accomplish? Do you feel like you made your time here for your first semester worthwhile?
I know for me personally, looking back at it now, I am very proud of this semester. While you're going through it, there's a lot of things I was like, oh, I should have done this. I should have taken this class instead. Maybe done this a little bit more, prepared for that test, prepared for this one. But now that we're at the end and everything worked out, passed all my finals, I'm feeling good about it. It was a pretty good year. I made a lot of great friends, especially being in the music department here at SMU.
And while you're in the moment of all the stress and all the hectic stuff, you sort of get tunnel vision, and so it's hard to sense where you're at and sense if you're even growing or improving even on the path that you want it to be. But then once you take a step back, look at all the things that you did, taking a step back and looking at all the stuff that I took part in, all the hours, it's no small feat.
And one more thing I would add is I was nervous that I was joining too many clubs and trying to do every opportunity that was passed along my way. It was kind of stressful in the moment, but grit my teeth and kind of got through it, and I'm kind of glad that I did it too, because then it's I had a very eventful many opportunities to do here on campus.
I will say here at college, your first semester flies by so much faster than high school. So much faster. We have our finals week right now. We're recording this on the day before everyone's supposed to leave.
Yeah.
And it just feels so all of a sudden. You don't get to say goodbye to some of your friends, because some of your friends finish their finals and then they leave. And it's also when at the time we're recording this, it's December 12th. And for most high schoolers, you guys probably get out 1 or 2 weeks later, probably around a week later. But it feels so much more all of a sudden, especially since you're not going to be seeing these people for a whole month. I totally agree what Noah was saying. In hindsight, a lot of the times, at least for me, I look back on it and I almost feel like I did nothing. It feels like it went by too fast.
Yeah.
Even though I'm committed and involved in so many things. But if you go honestly, if you probably open your phone and go back through your camera roll, all the little moments, you probably will start to realize how much you actually did, even if it felt really little and you felt lonely. And overall, I would say pretty not too bad semester. It was they call college the adjusting semester to college life, and I'd say it was a little bit like that. For us music majors, we are
very busy,
extremely busy, so we get thrown into it right away.
Yeah.
Oh, he's a violin. Wait, what are you?
I'm a viola major. I'm a viola performance and music ed.
Oh, why did I say violin? I'm sorry.
One thing I would say is the days go by slowly, and
yes,
kind of the weeks too, but the weeks and the whole year, looking back on it now, it completely flew by.
Yes.
It's one of those things flew by, but at the same time I feel I've been here my whole life.
Yeah. It's definitely a weird feeling first coming on campus. It's I don't know how it is. I don't know if it's just the SMU bubble or if it's this is a college thing, but it sort of felt all these people that I met and this sort of environment, I knew these people for years and years and years. It was so weird.
Yeah, especially our cohort of freshmen.
Yes.
They're very, very close.
Yeah. It's you're in a whole new, especially if you live on campus.
Yeah.
It definitely can throw you for
Living
a loop.
on campus is a lot different.
Yeah. It's definitely good to live on campus because then you get a new experience if you have the opportunity to.
And also like Jacob said, it's a lot of people say that this is the worst, your first semester is the worst. And I just feel because I've heard horror stories of horrible, gonna drop out, gonna transfer, all this different stuff. And now they're a junior, living their best life. Compared to those stories, I feel I had a pretty good first semester.
Yes.
It's it had its hardships, and there was a lot of moments where I was scared for my life, especially near the end. But other than that, it wasn't something that threatened my dropping out or something, you know.
Just so you know where we're coming from for context of our personalities, socially, my personality for sure is I'm more of a homebody. I don't like going to clubs. I don't enjoy partying a lot. For people that are similar to me, that's where my perspective is coming from.
Yeah.
And then kind of, I know Noah's kind of, you're kind of similar way a little bit.
I feel like for me, I'm a little bit of both. I'm a very extroverted person who loves to talk to people and loves to like be around other people. And like there's times where like I would rather be alone, like in my dorm, doing something like that and just like studying. But at the same time, like I also do like to go out and like party a little bit. But because of like how busy it is as like a music major at SMU, I haven't really been able to do that. It's something that you kind of like got to get used to. Even though like I don't want to be like you should stick around like people that are like similar to you, but it's just like as a music major here, most of the time the only people that will like understand your schedule, understand like kind of like how hard it is to be a music major and stuff is like only other music majors. So most of the time, because like our schedules like align so much, that's the only people that you're able to be around. But I still think it's like very important to like go out, talk to other majors, kind of get like a perspective, especially like on a place like a campus like SMU.
Like we talk about as a freshman, like it's the adjusting year. How do you feel like you've changed as a person from the start of semester till now? Because change is inevitable. I mean, just throughout life in general, but especially in college, a lot of people think, oh, college isn't gonna change me. It either changes you for the worse or for the better. I feel like for all of us, it changes for the better.
Yeah.
It's helped us grow as people a little bit.
For me, I know for sure, that's all I've been telling people is that like semester of college has like matured me in like an insane amount of way. Like I feel like I was very mature and on top of like things, especially like in high school and stuff. Like I was like, get this done, go to my job, you know, do orchestra, you know, kind of take care of my family, all that stuff. And I felt like I was pretty mature, but like coming here, like, your perception of like almost everything of like how like your life works is gonna change. Like living alone is like a whole new thing where it's like you don't have anyone like really to like help you. I just feel like I've like matured a lot. I found out like so much about like the way other people live, how I live, what like a type of person I want to be. And I know like for our academic writing class like taught me a lot of that stuff about like philosophy and stuff. So
I've always like been an overthinker, and a lot of my semester has been like small like light bulbs, like my own sort of beliefs and then my own views of people. And like there's like two things I want to see with that. Like coming to college, there are so many new people and so many different people that you interact with. I think you have to balance it. You sort of learn, and obviously I'm still learning too, but you sort of start to learn like, okay, this is important to me, and if it's not important to anyone else, that doesn't mean it's not meaningful. If that's a value or if that's like an activity, it's sort of finding out like, okay, what do I truly value and what I think is important? And if no one else has that, then that's okay. But then also being open to like having your own perspectives changed. Realizing that there's so much more than like your high school environment and so many more kinds of people than your high school environment. And so it's like both things of like being in a space where you can stand strong on like what you think is important, but also like listening to people and getting different perspectives and learning from their experiences too.
Yeah, it's definitely a great time to like figure out like what exactly you want for yourself, and also like not knowing that is like okay.
Yeah.
Like not knowing exactly like where you want to go, what you want to be, what you want to do, what you believe in. Like it's not like for you to come in like knowing. It's like I feel like it's just like for you to finally like start that work in progress where you like figure out like, okay, who am I? What's like my identity? Like what shapes my identity? And I know especially like as music majors, and it's like for me, I know that like I tie my identity a lot to like what I play and how good of a player I am. With music overall, this has been like one of the most efficient semesters like ever of like getting better in like my technique, getting better with like musicality, all that stuff. And I'm just like kind of breaking that tie between like how good I play like equals my identity. That's like a big thing to try to like start working through, is like thinking about who you are, what you want to do, and like the reason why, and like what matters to you and why does that matter.
Whenever you're here, are you laughing? Whenever you're here in college alone, whenever you're here in college alone, all those kind of outside voices you had growing up aren't really there as much anymore. Yeah. And you start really thinking for yourself, and honestly, like, and the things you're involved in, and if you realize you want to be more of a leader in certain things you're involved in and stuff, you start to question what you want to prioritize. And like you said, it sounds super cliche, but it's actually really important to figure out who you are as a person, so that you can be the most authentic version of yourself yourself and portray that to others and communicate that to others in your certain beliefs, and obviously do it like in a respectful manner. But I feel like that's something that, especially in high school, I thought I kind of had it all figured out. Like, I thought I thought I was a good person. Like, I was friendly to everyone, whatever. Like, I had nothing bad on my name. Like, it was all good. Like, I was living the good life, you know. But here, especially for like non-music majors, I know we're talking from a music major perspective here, but for people that have arguably probably more time on their hands, it's really a nice, like, don't think of it as I guess when you get to college, you'll understand sometimes when you have too much free time and you might feel like a little lonely. But it's honestly what college gives you in that case is time and time to think, and thinking is a good thing, especially at this early stage, because like Donovan said, you really want to find who you are and like what you dislike and what you like. You can find what you want to do for the rest of your life, hopefully, and be able to enjoy that and not just go through what most people go through and just do it for the money, which, I mean, hey, some people eventually end up happy, but like finding what you love to do and knowing that you're leveraging the strengths you have as a person and your capabilities, putting that into something you really love doing is probably the most important in like your personal growth.
Nothing anybody ever like tells you gets you prepared for college. No matter like how much advice you can like get and stuff, it's such like a crazy experience, especially like if you live on campus. It's like a whole different like world that you're entering into, and it's like a lot of people say like it's finally up to you, like you don't have anybody telling you what to do, all that stuff. The college experience is however you make it. Like you can go into it thinking like, you know, that you're unorganized and, you know, all that stuff, but like at the same time, like it's a time to like learn, like I said, like more about yourself and like, you know, how to do better. If you look at it in like a growth mindset type of way, and also come into it being like, yeah, I'm finally like free to like think about what I want and do like what I want, all that stuff. And it's just like about having that balance.
I know we talked about majors. If you go in like undecided, like that is okay too. Like I feel like people have a sense that like they need to have their major, they need to have what they want to do or study like down before they even like apply. But like realize that like people change their majors, people add on majors every day. I know that sounds, I would listen to people say that and be like, oh no, but I'm still gonna be like, and I've like changed like my major minor like combination like at least 5 times. And it'll keep changing because it's like you're honing in on like what you want to do and what you think is important. So like, especially if you're transitioning from high school to college and like you're still in those introductory years, you have a little bit of time to sort of figure out what truly interests you. Even if you're going into your upper divisional, like your junior senior level, yes, you're on probably a more strict degree plan, but you can still, I have friends who have like switched their majors and like added a semester. So there's ways for you to like find what you want to do, and it's not like you have to come in.
Kind of switching topics, a little bit of a more not fun question, but what was the scariest thing about college and how that thought maybe developed and how you perceive it now type thing?
I know for me, like one of the probably scariest moments I had with like my semester was like about a quarter in. Like I said, like I'm a very extroverted person and I love to be like around other people. And so at the beginning of the year, I made like a lot of friends from a lot of different like groups and stuff. And just coming into it, I guess I thought like, oh, these are gonna be like my friends for the next 4 years. Like this is gonna be like my group, you know, all that stuff. And it doesn't always work out that way. There's a lot of people like that at the beginning of the year, like I thought I would like be seeing at the end of the 4 years, that have like by just halfway through the very first semester of college, like I don't talk to anymore. All I'm gonna say is that's perfectly fine. People come and go. And like I said, we're all growing and changing and like realizing like what we want to do and like creating this like schedule for ourselves for the next 4 years and stuff. That's one of the biggest things like I had to like overcome and learn, is that like people are gonna do like whatever like they want to do, and at the end of the day, you have to do like what you do to like keep you sane and healthy. So it's gonna suck. It does suck. I'm not gonna lie and say it doesn't suck, but at the end of the day, you'll get through it.
I want to touch on like something like my experience this semester it's been a positive experience, but it was a lot rougher than I expected, like mentally. SMU has free counseling for students, all students, and I think staff too. I signed up like first few weeks, and that has been like so incredibly helpful. I think coming to college is scary, can be scary in a lot of ways, and especially like whenever you have those moments where it's like you question like something that that you've thought was so true to you, like for so long. I think there will definitely be conversations and people and classes that will like challenge like something so core to who you are, and that's okay. I think the thing to do then is to surround yourself with people who you know you can trust. Find an adult that you know you can trust, or see if your college has like counseling resources. Oftentimes they'll have at least like 1 to like 3 like free sessions. Don't be afraid to reach out for help. Don't be afraid to go counseling. Don't be afraid to talk to family. This is like, if you think about it, the start of adulthood. Part of like growing up is sort of having those challenges, but being able to say, okay, this is what I learned from it, and this is what I know now, and I'm firmer in my identity, and I'm firmer in like what I believe in, what I think is so valuable. Know that you will have those experiences that sort of like might feel like you're shaken. As long as you hold firm to yourself, be true to yourself, and also like reach out.
And also, you don't need a big like life-threatening reason to go to therapy or counseling. Like it's just a place where you can like talk to people. So it's like, even if it means like saying it out loud, so you can like slowly like get to understanding what you're thinking. So it's like, it's just another licensed person to like be able to talk to.
So I think it's not so much as like what was scary, but like a misconception I guess I had through like before coming to college. Don't believe what like you see like on social media of what your college friends are posting, because I mean everyone posts the best from their semester. No one posts like the bad moments, because I was under the impression that like I guess when I would see all these posts that college really is like party like and stuff, but there's these people that party and like post these things, but they might only do that like once a month or something.
Literally.
Actually. Like they post that, and then I see them like struggling, crying in the study room, and I'm like, oh wow, I didn't know that people were actually real. Like the people are real people. They don't just like party all the time. I had this really bad stigma in my head about people that party. I used to think like the people that party, like people that do like bad things, they're kind of like bad people. Like there's so many people that like might have like a lot of money or high status. There might be people that seem cool or better than you, but everyone's going through something, you know. They're as real as you are. So I feel like if everyone in this world just try to be more of like their authentic self, like it'd be easier for us to like relate with one another. Like, there's some people that still like a party and stuff, and
every day.
Every day, and
drink and smoke every day.
and really enjoy like doing that. But like even those people, even though despite what they do, I mean they still go to classes, or at least most people do. Like they still go to classes, they still do their day-to-day things, and they're still just regular people trying to live like college life. And I feel like once you can see that, it helps you be less judgmental about people and more open to meeting different types of people and learning how to talk to different types of people. A lot of the struggle that people have when they say like trouble like connecting with people is honestly like just the way people were like brought up in different ways, and it really is hard to connect with some people sometimes. I've tried to take a lot of efforts to get to know people I usually wouldn't like connect with, and I mean some people I get to know, but like I still don't really connect with them, like, and that's completely okay. But you know, stepping out of your comfort zone and talking to people, learning things, just learning about different cultures and about different people's experiences is honestly more valuable than things you might just be like taught in school.
Experience something new like every day, whether that's like a new connection that you thought like you wouldn't be experiencing, or like the first time ever you have like a teacher that like listens to you, or if it's like just like even the professor-student relationship, it's so much different. It's like for most of them, especially like here, it like feels like you're like working with like a colleague, and they're like actually here to like see you succeed and different stuff, and it doesn't feel like you're part of like a big system.
I just want to ask another question just so people gain perspective. It's a little bit off topic from this too. In terms of extracurriculars, what are we involved in like extracurricular wise, and especially as music majors, we don't honestly have as much time as people that would be involved. But yeah, just so like people gain perspective.
It's funny because like I was doing like a log for like Hilltop. They wanted to see like how many hours like people were involved in, and like when I tell you, I brought out my calculator from Mustang Band, and the number I almost hit like 100 hours. I am in Mustang Band with Jacob. It's like our campus. I am in the Meadows, which is the fine arts school, Meadows. I'm in the trombone choir, which is like the trombone studio. The voice program and in voice studio. I've been in the composition program. I'm in Meadows choir program, honors program, a Hilltop Scholars. It's like for community engagement plus academic scholarship. ASA, which is African Student Association, and then I'm also part of Crew, which is like an on-campus like student ministry.
For me, I'm a viola player in the MSO, which is like the Meadows Symphony Orchestra. Like within that, we get a lot of like opportunities from like upperclassmen, whether it be like the composition students or other programs, startup programs. We just like play for different stuff. Outside of my major, I work with the residential commons, which is like dorms here. I work on the like board team for like the Commons Council, and other than that, I'm just part of KSA and AC, which is like the Korean Student Association and Asian Council, and just like help plan their events and stuff. Oh yeah, and also I'm also a Rotunda scholar.
And I'm in like the Meadows percussion ensemble, the orchestra, and then with the wind ensemble. I'm not in jazz band or any like extra other thing. Oh, Mustang Band. Yeah, I am in the Mustang Band with Noah. I'm also in Phi Chi Theta, which is a professional business fraternity. Recently started here on campus. I am part of the SMU Emerging Leaders program, which was a first semester leadership program. I'm a part of ESA, which is the East Asian Student Association. Commons Council, I'm really trying to be an RA for next year as well. I'm also pretty involved in the Catholic Campus Ministry. Me and Noah recently applied for Rotunda Scholars and got in. And then I'm also in the University Honors Program. So that's just like a perspective for just seeing what we're involved in and what we spend our time in. Yeah. And a lot of those activities, although I know it sounded crazy, like it sounded like a whole long list of things, those are really just like a couple events here and there.
Our campus is actually very, very lively. It's a very lively campus where there's events going on almost every day somewhere. Even if you can't like be a part of like the team that creates those or whatever, you can still like go to the events. Like you can go to all of the subunits of Asian Council, all of their events. You can go to whether it's like business lectures, there's like book clubs. I'm also in a Rotunda book club, so we do that too.
Something I really enjoyed was this assignment I had for writer, where we had to like go to like an on-campus event that we never would have gone to. And something I can recommend is like, if you see something that you're like sign up for the email list for like other schools on campus. Like if you're like a business major, sign up for like the music or like the fine arts list. If you're like engineering, sign up for like the English. Go for things that are like outside your comfort zone, because not only could you find something that you're interested in, you might learn something from that other discipline that might like strengthen what you already know and what you're already learning.
Yeah, or you could like find friends. You could find it's just a great opportunity. Like if you have the free time and you're kind of interested, I would just say like go do it, go try it out.
The moments where you really don't want to go to something are the moments you like should go, like you need to. There's been like a couple times through the semester where I'm like, okay, I could totally skip out this, it's not required, I could go get an extra hour of sleep, but I'm like, I require myself to go to something sometimes, and I'm just like, you know what, I'm just gonna go, and then I'm just in a bad mood going over there. I just don't want to be there, and then I ended up like either meeting someone I hadn't before, like making a meaningful connection, or just like enjoying my time there, like enjoying it in a way that I didn't think I was gonna be able to. So you will realize once you get on college campus, and like instead of being like, oh, I don't want to go, like seek those moments where you don't want to go, because those are probably the more meaningful moments, at least from my personal experience. Final question of the video, guys. Final question of the video. If you were to go back in time to your younger self,
way back,
what's something you would have told your younger self to change?
First of all, you're gonna age really fast. Like
wait, no, you age really
quick. It's like so crazy.
Like if you look at my face August video, like
crazy.
I actually I put on the freshman like 12, guys. I'm not gonna lie, I can't lie here. I put on like the freshman 12.
It's like the stress just like ages you.
Freshman 15.
I know, but I
He's been active.
He only gained 12 pounds.
12 pounds. Well, eat your food. Just
actually eat your food.
Food is fuel.
Yeah.
Food is fuel here.
Food is fuel.
No. One thing, a piece of advice that I would say is like, you know, for music majors, this in specifics, it can be you could have a lot of like imposter syndrome and feel like you're not good enough and like you are like behind everyone else, and you might be like scared to like take those opportunities. But a very wise professor here, he told us that there's so many people that have gotten opportunities and like have made it big, and you might be thinking, hey, like I can do that too, but it's because they were the person that actually like went for the opportunity.
Yeah.
And so I feel like going for the opportunity, you'll actually like be way more surprised of like things that you're capable to do. And I just feel like that's a very big thing, is just like not worrying about like imposter syndrome and stuff, like just kind of being okay with like that you're at the beginning and you're gonna get better and you're gonna get better.
You'll meet so many different people, and I think something so important that's not talked about is like the importance of like empathy in this environment. No matter what college you go to, whether it's diverse or not, you're gonna meet a bunch of different people who have like lived completely different lives than you, who have had completely different experiences. Be respectful of that. If someone has different beliefs than you, be genuine with people, and if they don't feel the same way, then that's okay. That person's not meant to be like in your circle, and the people who are meant to be in your circle will come to you if you are authentic and if you show up as yourself. It's so important to be open-minded, and it's so important to like see people as people. They're not just like side characters on like your mission of like graduating. Like, they're human beings, and you'll never guess the people who are in your year who are doing this big thing or who are like having success. People you might not expect to be your lifelong friends end up being your lifelong friends. But it's because you said, okay, I'm gonna put down my bias for a second. I'm gonna listen to this person. I'm gonna see what they're coming from. So that is so important, and I cannot overstate that enough. That's something
Good things come to those who are like patient and open-minded.
Yeah.
I think two things. Mine are super niche.
Not
Just
quirky.
No, not in a weird way or anything. It's for one, to be less transactional, and then number two, to have longer conversations with people. I was the type of person who, like in high school, who knew everyone basically, would be like the person going down the hallway saying hi. Like, and I never like got to know anyone super well. It was more like, you know, how they say in business, like networking, and that's something I've been trying to get away from. Like that concept of like networking. Like, okay, maybe if you go to a networking event and it's specifically like for networking, I mean that's fine, but like being like that in real life scenarios where you can get to know the person like on a surface level, don't really like get to know them. What I mean by also transactional is like talking to them for a little bit, being like, okay, I made that connection, and then expecting something from them later, and expecting like something in return. Like there's a point in time where I had like a mentality like, oh, if I go talk to this person, maybe in the long run like they'll like benefit me, like just because I was like nice to them.
You're trying to gain the most benefits.
And it shouldn't be that. You shouldn't have that mentality. You shouldn't get to know them for like who they are.
At the end of the day, networking can just be like making friends. It's about like being genuine to someone, and you never know what's going to happen in the future, but someone will probably help you in the future if you help them with the opportunity, or even like if you were nice to them, you know. It doesn't exactly have to be like, okay, well now you owe me this, or I'm gathering all these people so that I can reap the most benefits in the future. It could just be about like making friends and being genuine to other people.
So like my second point, like having longer conversations, it seems like such a weird thing to say. Like it kind of implies that like conversations usually like aren't long, but like for example, to paint a picture, a lot of the times on this campus you'll see someone just walking on the sidewalk, you both have your AirPods in, and then you take out an AirPod, you're like hi, the other person takes out an AirPod, they're like hi, where are you headed to, blah blah blah. And a lot of the times I found myself in the beginning of the school year being like, oh, okay, that's cool, end of conversation, and then leave. I feel like a big part about like building relationships is really like having like good conversations, and like when you see someone and that scenario plays out again where you're like both listening to music, just walking, you happen to see each other, oh hi, trying to really that's been a challenge for me, because I was so used to being a person that has short conversations, like really prolonging a conversation, being able to find out different things about them. Like you can find out so much about a person if you really ask the right questions in like a genuine manner, and it's honestly a skill you have to kind of acquire and you have to practice. But yeah, I feel like if I earlier in the semester was able to, instead of focus on meeting so many people, like get to know fewer people, but like on a more personal level, it would have been so much more enjoyable. I mean, that's still something I'm working on. Like, as I said, like sometimes you just don't click with certain people and sometimes it's not gonna happen. But the more you try and the more you really like put intentional effort into being like, okay, I'm gonna really try to get to know this person in these like 30 minutes that I have with them to talk to them. It'll make a huge difference in like getting to know people for like who they actually are.
Like, that could make your day, that could make their day. It kind of ties back to like every single day is a new experience, because there's days where I'm like walking back from work and then I see somebody and it's like I could have easily just been like, hey, how are you doing? Okay, that's great. Well, I'm going to bed, you know, different stuff like that. But there's been like days where I see them and then I sit down with them and then next thing you know, it's like 3 hours go by and we were talking about like faith and we were talking about, you know, karma, and we were talking about like the way that we see life and, you know, life as a music major. It's like it can get so deep and you can build these genuine connections with people. And now I see those people like every day and I'm like, you know, I feel like so connected to them and like I have such a strong like support system here. It's like those like little things, you know, they actually really are worth it. They're not like wasting your time. There's no like thing as like wasting your time here. It's all like for a reason.
One of the first nights we were here, like me and Jacob, like hour-long conversations, and like those are the conversations that like you take with you. You can sit in a classroom and study all you want, you can have the most insightful like experiences, but like those like moments with people where you like see them genuine with them and like you have like those meaningful conversations that are like the most central to like the college experience, and they're the ones that like you might not remember everything what was said, but you'll remember the feeling of solidarity, and you'll remember the feeling of like, okay, so that's important to them too. And learning from their experiences and like giving back and like back and forth, like the community, that's like true community building. And so it's like so important, like have those moments, like don't waste them, because they're so precious. This is a time where we have not a lot of time, but we have the time and the space for those conversations.
Time built in for those conversations we have.
And so take them, even if it means, you know, you lose like a little bit of sleep.
You're probably not going to remember the person who like saw the time that just like walked past you and like waved, you know, like every day at the same time. You're probably going to remember the person that like you barely talked to, but every time you did, it was like an amazing conversation where y'all like, you know, both realized y'all did this and both realized y'all didn't like this, and like, you know, different stuff like that. So
okay guys, thank you guys for watching. Make sure to like,
subscribe,
and comment down below where you're going to college, guys.
Yeah, where you're going to be going.
Oh wait, yeah, that's true.
If you're going to SMU.
Oh yeah, if you're going to Instagram down below, I'll put all their Instagram links down below. Well, thank you guys. Have a good rest of your day.
Bye everyone.